Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge and prostate cancer awareness. From Kauffman Stadium, it's the final game of this three-game series between the Houston Astros and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you, and happy Father's Day to you, and happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there watching today's game. The Royals with several roster moves today. They placed Jorge Soler on the disabled list, also sent out Scott Barlow and Ramon Torres, and recalled Alberto Mondesi, Bracel, Herrera, and Willie Peralta from the minor leagues to strengthen this team. How about Mondesi?
Fantastic, Fizz. Are you kidding? It's great to see a little bit of infusion of energy, and Mondesi brings that. That's what you want, a kid with tools, and that's what it's all about. When they're drafted out of high school or college, they're looking for that speed, power, fielding, the ability to move around. That's what he brings. He brings all that stuff, and the fact that he's had some injuries in the past in his career. Ned's going to only play him, 4, maybe 5 days a week just to make sure he can get his feet underneath him, but he should be a nice jolt of energy.
Alberto Mondesi up from Omaha. When we come back, Joel and Monty will talk Brad Keller as he gets ready to make his 4th Major League start.
Big league start and 25th Major League game. We got to visit with his dad in Boston earlier this year, so a happy Father's Day to Brad's dad, Dan, and to all of you dads out there from Jeff Montgomery and from Joel Goldberg. All right, Monty, let's talk a little bit about the youngster, Brad Keller. What have you seen as he's transitioned from bullpen to rotation?
Well, I think it's been exciting to watch his transition. I like the fact that he's been able to build up so quickly to where he got into the 6th inning with 85 pitches in his last start. He's really not changing much. He's actually using his fastball a little bit more than he did in relief, but this will be a situation where he kind of got to cruise through the waters, figure out what works for him as far as using his changeup, using his slider, but his fastball is an outstanding fastball. He gets a lot of ground balls with that. I think he's just going to go out and use that aggressiveness to his advantage.
So Brad Keller, start number 4, coming up in just a bit. When we come back, Fizz and Huddle talk defense. They know all about defense as proud fathers, right? They will do that coming up next. Happy Father's Day.
Royals, Fizz and Hud back with you. Despite the record, the Royals are always trying to improve. And before the games this week, they have worked on base running. They've also worked on defense. And my goodness, the defense drills have certainly paid off with some fine plays in the outfield.
We are seeing spectacular top shelf defense, and it's coming from all areas too, but mainly the outfield has been nice. Saving pitchers, saving pitch counts, saving runs. Look at the feathering, the hands, but watch Gordon. Gordon has been an incredible highlight film. This is my favorite right here. Takes it off the wall. That is fundamentally sound. A great pick by Torres, and applies the tag. But look, let's not forget that those pitches and those plays make a big difference, but they must get back in that win column, and that's what they need their offense to do. But the defense has never been better.
No better place for a dad to be like Alex Gordon than at the ballpark. I hope all those dads are in the heartland today at Kauffman Stadium enjoying Major League Baseball. you by Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. The Royals looking to end a 5-game losing streak against the defending world champion Houston Astros. It's the Royals' Brad Keller against Houston today. Starting lineups are next. Mondesi, he'll be in that dugout today cheering on his Royals, who start today with a record of 22-48. 92 degrees outside, warm Sunday afternoon. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you. Royals right now taking the field, led by Brad Keller, who will be on the mound. And the Houston Astros have a record of 47-25. They lead the American League in batting, hitting .265. They're first in runs scored, averaging 5.2. And it is an impressive lineup. They've won 10 straight, and during it, Rex, they're averaging almost 7.5 runs per game.
Yep, they're well balanced. They have a little bit of speed, some power in there, and it's been evident in the first 2 games of this series. But it's up to this young man right here, Brad Keller. He can put an end to that offense with good pitching. Good pitching outdoes good hitting. hitting any day, but he's got to hit his spots. Opponents hit 231 off of him, 23 strikeouts. Now he is a strikeout pitcher. He's got some velo. His pitches, 4-seam, 2-seam fastball, slider change. That fastball average is going to average 95.7. He's got some good velo. He can go as high as 97, but still, it's all about commanding. Fastball down and away. That's going to be his keys. Keep it down and away from those hitters and out of their wheelhouse, because they'll take you deep in a heartbeat.
Our home plate umpire calling balls and strikes for Brad Keller will be John Tumpain. Then we have Mike DeMuro at first base, Jeremy Rehak at second. Mark Wegner is the crew chief, and he will be at third base.
Check out the all blue mask. That is outstanding. Way to represent Dad. Way to go, fellas.
Brad Keller comes into this game with a record of 1-2, a 2.31 ERA in 24 games. Just 3 starts, moved to the rotation recently. And you talked about him keeping that fastball down. He has 60% ground ball rate, is 5th highest in the major league.
That's right. You know what? He works it. He's got some natural movement on that 4-seamer. That's why it's been so effective. Natural cutting action away from the righties into the lefties. Now the Royals defense, Ford around the horn. Paulo Orlando's getting a start in right field. Alex in left. We know someone's going to make a great play. Goins at third base today. Interesting.
Springer goes after the first pitch and will ground out.
Dozier's getting that start at first base. Salvi's back behind the plate in this afternoon's game. Merrifield's at second. Dozier's got to love being in that lineup every single day.
And he does, but you wonder for how long. It was good news today. Lucas Duda was sent out on a rehab assignment, and that is a big, productive left-handed bat.
The only repellent a young man has in that situation, Fizz, is with his bat. You hit that ball over the fence, you hit knock in some runs, they'll think twice about putting Duda out there. You got to produce.
Now Alex Bregman, who has had a very good series, going 3 for 8 with a couple of home runs. And he bangs this one up the middle for a base hit, so that's his 4th hit of this series. Astros won the first 2 games by scores of 7-3 and 10-2. Alex Bregman, our Kubota power stats, well, he has shown power with 2 long balls to left.
Been impressive to see this young man mature, and he's still got a long way to go. He hasn't reached his peak. He's far from it. He's already showing great signs of that.
He's now reached in 28 straight games. Now Altuve, and he waves at the first pitch, which is a slider, expecting that fastball, and Brad throws that fastball almost 75% of the time, whether it's the 4-seam or the 2-seam, and Altuve surprised a little bit with the breaking ball.
You know what? In order to combat that long ball, you've got to mix in some secondary pitches with these guys. Because you say that many fastballs, over 70%, some of those are going to be mistakes. And the way these guys are playing, they won't miss it. The way they're swinging the bats.
Came in tight on Altuve, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's an effective pitch as well. Back them off the plate. They've seemed pretty comfortable the last few days.
Jose is tied with Gene Segura, who's been ultra hot for Seattle for most hits in the American League, each with 98. That's 10 more than the guy in 3rd place, Nick Castellanos, with 88.
No.
3-1.
Keller, he can induce a ground ball double play. He's induced 6 so far in just 35 innings. He's keeping it away from him, but sometimes, you know, you have to challenge him down in the strike zone. Altuve's grounded into 8.
Inside, ball 4. A walk in the first inning led to a rally for Houston yesterday off of Danny Duffy, who walked the leadoff batter Springer, then gave up a hit to Bregman and a double to Altuve. Now he faces the always tough Carlos Correa.
Getting through the first inning is the biggest challenge for a lot of pitchers, young and old. Trying to find out what pitches are working. All of them worked in the bullpen, but there's no hitter in the bullpen.
That ball gets away from Salvi, and both runners will advance.
That was unfortunate there. Let's see what happens. Ball's down. Hit his glove, didn't bounce. Salvi looking at his glove, he just missed it.
Yeah, I have a feeling they'll change that from a wild pitch to a pass ball.
Yeah, that's a pass ball.
And they did.
I didn't think it bounced. That's a miss. Hey, look, how many times does Salvador Perez pick up the team and pick up the pitcher? That's going to happen. That's right. Let's turn the page and move on quickly. That's what you do.
A popper into shallow left center field, and it's going to drop for a hit, and a run will score.
Yeah, you could tell that had hit written all over it on contact. Off the end of the bat. Breaking ball down. You can see how Correa went down with his bottom leg to get down low enough. Escobar stayed out of the way of Gordon. I call those a doinker. There's a lot of terms for those that have been made up over the years.
They're not only very good, but they have been lucky in this series, and as Jeff Montgomery said in the pregame show, he said they're like a runaway locomotive. Like nothing can stop them right now. They're playing such good baseball offensively, defensively. Pitching has been excellent, and they've won 10 straight games.
Yep, you can't expect to beat them unless you execute against them. You're going to have to. Now, just because they got the early lead here, there's a lot of baseball to play. Execute your pitches, pitch to contact here, roll up a double play, and get out of the inning. No better remedy when things are going like the Royals are than being positive and looking ahead, not looking behind.
Gurriel with a base hit to left field. He has been money with runners in scoring position and comes through again, now batting over .460 with runners in scoring position, makes it 2-0.
Okay.
As we have a look at the Kia drive to success, incredible numbers during this 10-game win streak. 74 runs. They've allowed just 36, belted 20 home runs, and they have the early edge on KC today, 2-0.
Just 11 pitches in. Keller getting beat a little bit, not really getting beat, but he's getting hit on some off-speed pitches. Get back to the heater and start commanding it.
Like that.
That's your bread and butter, challenging. That was 2 feet away, that ball off Gurriel's bat, from being a double play. Keep competing with your best stuff.
That should work. They've got 1, but not 2. Just wasn't hit hard enough.
That's a mouthpiece that Reddick has that he's chewing on right there. A lot of players have them nowadays. Keep them from grinding their teeth out there in the heat of the baseball battle.
Now Evan Gattis, who's really been hot during this 10-game win streak. Well, he has 6 home runs, batting .350. Muscles up 1 to left center field. Almonte has it measured and will make the catch right at the warning track. The wind blowing out, so every fly ball will get some help. But Houston, with 2 runs in the first, takes the early lead. batting .243 as a team, averaging 3.7 runs per game. A little change in the lineup. Alex Gordon moves all the way to number 2 in the order. Hunter Dozier will be back at 5, and Escobar moves to number 6 in the lineup. Lance McCullers, outstanding right-hander from Tampa, Florida, will make the start, and it's his 15th this year. Has 8 wins and a .383 earned run average.
He's another horse in their stable. They've got a bunch of them. They're good, and the Royals know it. They're going to have to attack this man and get after him. Curveball is his best pitch. Watch out for that. But if he does throw it straight, any of those fastballs, don't miss him. Been throwing more changeups too. But he's, you know, in order to get that curve working, when that's his favorite pitch, he's going to have to get some fastballs working as well. These two go hand in hand.
Wood had 2 hits yesterday, also hit by a pitch, on base 3 times. Fastball up and in from Lance McCullers.
And McCullers, when he gets in trouble, he's going to spin it. Believe me. Curveball is his go-to pitch.
High fly ball to right. Reddick right near the line, 1 out.
McCullers has an outstanding defense. They have the least amount of errors in Major League Baseball. Josh Reddick, he's fantastic. He's tied for 5th in outfield assists in the majors this year. He's fantastic. Got 6. Now that infield, Carlos Correa made his 2nd year error, just his 2nd of the year. He's fantastic at short. They got a great double play combination with Altuve, his second base partner.
Rex, you brought up a point about Lance McCullers' curveball. He throws it 43% of the time, more than any other pitch. Why is his curveball so much better than most major leaguers?
Well, it's because he really focuses on getting a tight spin. They call it in the game now spin rate. Okay, when I faced Dwight Gooden back in my day, Dwight Gooden had the greatest curveball I've ever seen, a curve with teeth on it. And I didn't need to know a spin rate. I just knew he had a heck of a curve. Okay, so nowadays they put that into a language. And the average spin rate of a major league knuckle curveball is 2,458 revolutions
per minute.
Yeah, per minute. Okay. Now McCullers is 2,749. So it's over 300 more spins, if that makes sense. Trying to explain that and break that down. 81 miles an hour is the average curve. He throws his at 86. So it's a big, tight breaking curveball. There's your answer.
I've got to ask you a question, though. A regular curveball, was there a different sound from Dwight Gooden's?
You know what? It sounded like a locomotive coming in. Believe it. You could hear the seams biting that air, Fizz, and it's not a pleasant pitch to try to hit. I can just tell you.
I've talked with some of our Royals about McCullers, seeing him in the past, and this is the 4th time he has pitched against the Royals, and he has done very well with a 2.14 ERA.
I spent some time in the Astros booth over there. The color commentator Jeff Blum, he spent a long time in the majors, over 10 years, and I asked him, who was the toughest curveball you ever saw? And he goes, Darryl Kyle. Kyle had the biggest and toughest. And he said the same thing I said, Fizz. You could hear it coming. Not the velocity, just the fact of the spin rate. And I would say that Dwight Gooden's curveball was just as hard as McCullers. 86, maybe 87, could have been, but it was one of those hard ones. Remember, the average speed on that knuckle curve is 81. That's where most guys, and it's a show me flip over pitch, just get me over pitch. Good changeup. He's been using a lot more changeups. Last year, 12% changes is all he used. This year, 25% changeups. So he's going more off speed. And this is part of the adjustment a young pitcher makes as he's making his way year 1, year 2, year 3 in the big leagues.
And he threw it on a 2-0 count.
And again, back to back. Wants a little pop up from Moose there. That's why he's trying to execute the changeup away. Hoping Moose will pull it.
He's falling behind, and the Royals hoping to make him pay for that.
Time to tie it up. Get your pitch, don't miss it. Or take your walk.
Back-to-back walks to Gordon and Moustakas.
Nice.
Well, at the top of the inning, you were talking about Keller's ability to induce a double play. Lance McCullers is outstanding at that, as he has induced 9 double plays this year, and his 61% ground ball rate is the highest percentage by a major leaguer against a right-handed batter like Salvador Perez.
2-seam fastballs come down and into righties. That's what he uses, 35% of them at 94. So when a right-handed hitter goes to swing, he's going to hit the top of the ball and pull it. Salvi has only gotten 4 base hits to the opposite field all year. So hopefully when Salvi pulls it, he either gets it up and hits a 3-run homer, or he finds a hole on the left side. But he's definitely looking to pull. Just hope you don't hit it at somebody.
Trying to pull that changeup. A lot of room in right center field, both on the infield and in the outfield. I mean, the left fielder Springer's pulled way over towards left.
There's just 2 fielders on that side of the field.
The Royals have scored 7 runs in their career against Lance McCullers, and 5 of those runs have been driven in by Salvador Perez. Hits that one to left field, a base hit. Gordon had to hold for a second. They throw to third with the pitcher covering, but safe is Alex, and the bases are loaded.
Oh man, you know what? We knew he was going to pull it, and he found a hole barely. Alex Gordon, at that angle, when you're a base runner at second, you can't see the line drive. So what are you going to do? Not get picked off. He was heading back to second. Watch him. Watch Alex at second base. Okay, he thinks that don't double me up. Okay, now he's got to get going again. Look at the pitcher, heads up by McCullers. That's a great job of trying to catch him and get the force play by the McCullers. Great job there. Saw the base was empty. Why not cover it? Okay, they got their own rally going. Loaded up here against McCullers. They just scored 2 runs off you in the first base. They've got to get something out of this.
Strike 1.
This could be a real deflator for the Royals if they can't score here. McCullers, it'll be a big lift for him.
They're coming home, and dropping the baseball is McCann at home plate, so they don't get the force. The throw was in the dirt by Alex Bregman, the third baseman.
You have options when that happens. He could have stepped on the base and got the force there and went to first and got Dozier, although Dozier runs well. Or he could have set his feet and made a better throw. He's throwing on the right. You know what? You got to get one for sure there. He made the mistake of not getting his foot. Look at it. He's making the throw on the run. There's no guarantee you'll make a good throw, and that's not on McCann. That's on Bregman. So
A5.
That is a break, and the Royals badly needed breaks. They need those plays. They'll take it. Now's when you hit a gap or clear the bases.
Moose at third base, Perez at second, Dozier at first. Escobar just 2 hits in his last 40 times up, batting .209 on the year. Right-handers have actually hit at a higher average, over 100 points higher than left-handers have. And there's a chopper towards third. McCullers. What a play by Lance McCullers. They get the out, but the Royals have tied the game.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Whoever said pitchers are not athletes was wrong. There's many infielders that can't make that play. We showed you cover third base, just the last hit. Watch this, full speed, bare hand, over the top. Gurriel, great hands at first base. Man, was that nice. Oh man, that's a highlight tape for the ages. Now sure, they tied it up and that's good, but now they still need to try to get some more runs if you can off McCullers.
The Royals did make McCullers pay for the 2 walks that he suffered, walking Gordon, walking Moustakas. Now Goins the batter, and he takes strike one.
Options are there. Goins, he's got good hands, and he wants to just place the ball somewhere. Bregman, the third baseman, he's in. You could slice it by him all day long if you can get a pitch middle away. Goins will go with it.
And Bregman, the third baseman, even with the bag in, you always talk about a left-hander slashing at that baseball. If he can get it by, Royals could take a 2-run lead.
I'm not playing him in. I'm moving back. I want my third baseman to have more range in case he does shoot a ball by there.
Over the head of the pitcher, but right to Correa. He'll throw out Goins, but the Royals do tie the game on one hit. An error by Houston. 2-2 our score. Cleveland and Minnesota. Joe Mauer lines a shot off Carlos Carrasco's elbow, and he goes down in a heap. And Carrasco placed on the disabled list today. Right elbow contusion. This is our University of Kansas Health System injury report. So Carrasco on the DL. Shane Bieber is starting today's game for Cleveland, and Jake Odorizzi for Minnesota.
And an excellent velo over 100 doesn't give a pitcher long to get out of the way of it. 60 feet 6 inches from home plate. And actually, when he strides home and he lands in his stride foot, he's even closer. Dangerous.
See how Brad Keller bounces back in the top of the second inning, facing Arwen Gonzalez, Brian McCann, and then George Springer.
This is the inning he really needs to get it a 1-2-3. Come after him. Your team just scored against the world champs to tie it in the first. They answered. Get them back in the dugout so they can keep that momentum.
Gonzalez has been very good in this series, 4 for his last 7 with 2 doubles. And he bunts. Right there is Goins.
Oh,
1 out.
And you know you can trust Goins.
Let's go to Joel.
All right, guys, talked a little earlier about all of the moves. Speaking with Adalberto Mondesi, he said that the 3 guys that all came up had to fly from Seattle area to Chicago to Omaha, picked up their bags, then jumped in a van, and they were transported here to Kansas City. So they're all obviously thrilled to be here. In Mondesi's case, as HUD mentioned before, 3 to 4 days a week. They want to keep him healthy and start getting him some confidence here at the big league level. As for Willie Peralta, he has a lot of big league experience, had to earn his way back here, but Jeff Montgomery saw him pitch last Saturday night in Omaha when they were doing a Monty bobblehead night, and he said that Peralta's stuff was really, really impressive, really nasty. And as for Rosell Herrera, talked to him today. He's very athletic, 6'3". Said he could really play anywhere that they want him to. He said he'd even pitch if they needed him to, but he plays all the outfield spots, pretty much all the infield spots, a lot of energy and athletic. And I did ask Kelvin Herrera, guys, this morning, any relation at all? He said, is he from the Dominican, speaking of Rosell? I said, yes. He said, well, I've never met him, but I don't know, maybe we're cousins.
Joel, thank you very much. But Ned Yost said one thing that was really important about Mondesi. Yes, he's very talented, but Ned also reminded us every year Mondesi has been hurt. He has to find a way of staying healthy, and that's why Ned said he'll play him 3 to 4 times a week at the start.
Yeah, and you know, you can't blame the player for that. That happens. Okay? A lot of guys have gone through that. That's how you hit through the shift there. McCann did just now. Good swing. Yeah, but you know what, though? Getting back to athletes, Herrera, Mondesi, those are 2 athletic ads. You win with athletes. One-dimensional players, you can win with those, but not as many ways you can be beaten. Those athletes can beat you in a lot of ways. Legs, arm.
Now George Springer. He hits one sharply to the second baseman. Royals get 1 and done.
That's what they're talking about. Roll them up, ham and eggs on a day game.
The second inning, and this afternoon we are participating in the home run challenge. Every home run in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, nearly $2.4 million has been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Royals sent 7 men to the plate in a 2-run first inning, and Almonte Orlando will start things, and then back to Whit Merrifield. McCullers needed 21 pitches to get 3 outs in the first. Walked 2, both scored.
Okay, now opportunity to get on base. Look where they're playing. Look at this. Look around. Check out your skill set. Almonte's had a hard time hitting his way on. Why not drop a bunt? Why not just get on base? Hit the top of it. You can walk into first base. Look around. See where the defense is playing you. Do what you can. It's not easy when you don't get a chance to play every single day, but there are certain ways that you can help the team, and that's by getting on base.
In game 1, he walked twice, scored 1 run.
Breaking ball, change up, those pitches are all moving down, and they're a little bit easier to get on the ground. When you have speed, you can beat it out.
Now they will shift with 2 strikes, 3 infielders on the right side, and Bregman will be the lone man on the left. In shallow is Gonzalez in left. 2-2. Lance McCullers, son of former Major League pitcher Lance McCullers, who pitched 7 years with San Diego, the Yankees, Detroit, and Texas, from '85 through '92. In there, strike 3 call. If the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City Major League Baseball Urban Youth Academy. Well, here's a guy who knows a lot about triples. It was a few years ago that you wanted to call him Paulo Tripolo.
That's right, and he'd love to hit one of those right here.
It's really fun watching him run the bases when he strikes one in the gap that gets to the wall. Reminds me of the days of Willie Wilson. Hat flying off as he round first base. Popped up. And it's Bregman stepping just in front of Lance McCullers, because you know Lance could not have made that play.
Impossible. An athlete like him. The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Royals are represented on this year's squad by voting at Royals.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th live on Fox.
Ouch. Oh man, the Royals lost Jorge Soler because of a broken left big toe. Now Whit Merrifield slammed one off of his left leg.
And if that's near his knee, that's problems. And how many times have you heard me say, Fizz, that whenever you swing at a pitch and you hit it off your body, it's a bad pitch? That was 95, a foot inside off the plate.
Well, he throws that 2-seam fastball that runs down and in. And you were talking the other day when it's running down and in like this one is. That's just below the knee.
See, now that's the place I feared getting hit the most, was in the knee by a pitch. But fouling one off the knee like that is almost as bad. He's not going to recover from that very quickly. That's a direct hit too, right back to the pitcher. So he's looking for somebody. Ned is. He's turning to the dugout and looking for somebody. You just hope that's just a bruise. But I don't know if he'll be able to finish this.
Royals already have plenty on the disabled list, and Jesse Hahn, Nathan Carnes, Lucas Duda, Jorge Soler, Cheslor Cuthbert, Eric Skoglund, and Blaine Boyer.
Yep.
Well, it looks like we're going to see Mondesi, his first appearance since coming up from Omaha, and it comes immediately in this game in the second inning.
Terrible blow right there.
Well, let's get ice on it.
Yeah,
hopefully it'll be just a little bruise.
That's what you hope.
Yep.
That's all you can hope for.
We'll stay away from any kind of diagnosis from the broadcast booth.
Yeah, no, we just know, some of us know by experience how that felt. And if you didn't and you want to know, go out to your garage and get a hammer, do the same thing.
Well, this will be the first major league at bat for Adalberto Mondesi. Now, he's had a major league at bat as Raul Mondesi, but obviously he went back to his original name, what they call him back home in the Dominican Republic, Adalberto, and that's why he made the change in the offseason. He is officially Adalberto Raul Mondesi. swings and misses and strikes out. McCullers with 2 strikeouts in the inning. We head to the third, tied at 2.
All military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Great.
Adalberto Mondesi stays in the game and plays second base with Merrifield out after slamming a ball off of his left knee. And Brad Keller will head to that hill, and they're going to move Mondesi off to the left side, so the Royals will have 3 infielders on the left side, leave Dozier alone on the right for young Alex Bregman. In there, strike 1.
Big important last inning for Keller. After your team tied it up like that, to get that double play, get out of the inning, that was big. Now can go out there and attack, establish that fastball, let it eat.
And that was the 7th double play that he's induced this year. And Rex, you said you wanted to see him get back to fastball command in that second inning.
No doubt. That's a tough pitch. Like I said before, if American League pitchers faced heaters that are 95 plus, they would realize how hard that pitch is to hit, but they don't. So they sometimes get away from it. Throw it. Down and away is where the heater's supposed to go to a righty, just like that. Put it in play, he's out.
Orlando will make the catch, and there's 1 out here in the third.
Parents, sign your kids up for Sluggers Blue Crew to get your little ones geared up for baseball season. Membership includes a blue crew jersey, flat bill snapback cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. Membership is just $30. Sign up now at Royals.com/Blue Crew before the season gets through you.
Went out, and the batter is Jose Altuve. Walked and scored the second Houston run. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Astros. 2 runs, 1 hit for KC. I also like Keller's tempo. He's just staying right on that rubber, right on that hill, getting the sign and bringing it.
And that's good. That's actually excellent. The best thing a pitcher can do for his defense behind him. Keep him in the game. Tempo. Got to have that along with your stuff.
Ooh. Came inside with the changeup. And Altuve, he wants that motor stick. Apparently he almost lost his bat.
No, that's the stickum spray.
Oh, okay.
That's not the motor stick, but
I just saw him toss a little
same thing.
Stick, and it looked like. He digs back in.
All right, you want to see what's on the on-deck circle? Let me show you. Nice little close-up. We'll show you what that is. Freeze it right there. Now you missed the motor stick. There it is. Motor stick right there. This is tough skin. Fizz, you probably never had your ankles taped in your life. That's what they use. You see the donut there. They got the sleeve, the rosin bag, and the pine tar. Those are the things that are on the on-deck circle that you must have. And Fizz, did you
I was an ankle sprain waiting to happen.
Have you
taped walking to school?
Okay, I didn't know if you ever had your ankle taped, but that's kind of what that is. And it's instant stick, so they don't throw their bat, lose the grip.
Boy, he is a tough out. He competes every single at bat. The 8th pitch in this duel coming. And it is ball 4. So Altuve has walked twice. And now Keller must face Correa with a speed guy at first base. Altuve has stolen 10 bases this year in 12 attempts. They'll play Correa to pull with Mondesi almost directly behind second base.
Talking with all-time Royals winningest manager Ned Yost before the game today about Keller. He said, fastballs down and away, bring outs. Not just 1, but 2.
And there's 2. When we come back, we'll visit the Hall of Famer George Brett about Father's Day. That's next. An aching shoulder, Perry began doing routine screenings for men over the age of 50 receiving a prostate cancer diagnosis. He had his prostate removed last December at the University of Kansas Cancer Center and will begin radiation treatment this summer. Without a history of cancer in his family, Perry was surprised by the diagnosis, but is now an advocate for preventative care and encourages men to see their doctors regularly. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler. We're now joined by Hall of Famer George Brett. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
I understand your 3 sons are with you today.
I think this is the first time in years me and all 3 of my boys have been here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just were in Wichita celebrating.
We were in Wichita celebrating my mother-in-law's 80th birthday. Went out Friday, came back this morning. So it was kind of an eventful couple days there. We had a wonderful time. Very fortunate not only to have a great wife, but a great mother-in-law.
Exactly. And how did you make the difficult choice to throw the first pitch to Jackson rather than the other two?
Well, that's who they told me I was throwing it to. And I think mainly because Jackson worked for the Royals for a long time. You know, he was a clubhouse guy. He was a ball boy, a bat boy, did all the stuff, a clubhouse kid part-time. And then 2015, when we won the World Series, he was a full-time clubhouse guy. And just loved it. Just loved being around the game of baseball.
Hey, George, your boys are all good size. Do you ever arm wrestle anymore? Or did you lose that contest?
No, I lost that contest a long, long time ago, Rex.
Okay, now
maybe I could get Robin. Robin and I are the same size, but my other boys tower over me.
Okay, just checking.
6'3", 6'2".
I got 3 boys.
270, 250, 260.
I understand totally.
Yeah, I surrendered that cause a long, long time ago.
George, I remember having this conversation with you way back. We're talking in the early 80s and American Legion Baseball, and they were really limiting here in Kansas area. But I asked you about your participation, and you said, hey, my dad said, you're going to work for the rest of your life. Play baseball. And you said you played 3 games every single Saturday.
Yeah. Well, it was not every Saturday, but I played high school, obviously, in Southern California. We had a really good team. We entered a lot of tournaments. I think our league season was probably 15, 16 games. And then as soon as we entered tournaments, and then we made the state playoffs. I think I played 40 high school games my sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then right when that season ended, we played American Legion. We'd play another 60. So I was playing 100 baseball games a day, or a year.
Exactly.
And against good competition in Southern California. And I've always been an advocate for, if you're going to play something, play against better competition, play up a little bit, you know.
But your dad was the one who encouraged you.
Well, I think I had 3 older brothers too that encouraged me also, and all 3 of them played professionally. My brother Ken, 12 years in the major leagues. My other 2 brothers didn't make it out of A-League, but being the youngest and always being at the ballpark, I kind of fell in love with the game of baseball, and was very fortunate, you know, in all honesty, to get drafted by the Royals, because, you know, when I got drafted in 1971, they just became a team in '69.
Yeah.
So their farm system really wasn't that strong, and I got a chance to move up the ranks pretty quick and found myself in the big leagues at age 20, and I never hit 300 in the minor leagues. But very, very fortunate that this organization drafted.
And didn't you hit, was it 282 your first season?
My first full season, I hit 282. Yeah. I had it up to 291, and they fired my man Charlie Lau, and I went 0 for 11 the last 2 days or last 4 games of the season. It ended up hitting 282. But I really believe if they didn't fire Charlie, I had a chance to hit 300.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Your dad was tough. He had to be. 4 boys.
Very tough.
Okay, so what do you draw from your dad? What's the best advice he gave you?
Never be content. Never to be content. You can't live on what you accomplished yesterday. And he would always call me in the big leagues. You know, he would call me sometimes, and Sundays back then, you know, this was long before cell phones. Sunday was a day to call your parents. And sometimes they would call me, and he said, yeah, you had a good game yesterday. You had a good week. You know, don't be content. Keep grinding. You know, it's 162 games scheduled, but you can never be content in this game. Once you get content, you see it sometimes. You know, you see a guy that hits 250, he'll get a hit his first at bat, and he'll go 0 for 3 the rest of the game, and that's why he hits 250. But the guys that hit over 300 are usually the guys that get a hit their first at bat, and then all of a sudden they go, man, I got 1 for 1.
They say Moustakas is out at the plate on a tremendous throw by Arwen Gonzalez, but the Royals may challenge as Ned Yost is holding up his right hand. He wants Billy Duplessis to check it.
What an outstanding throw. Yeah, great throw here. Now this ball is off. It's making Gonzalez come to the line. So Jershely, he's going to send him. Why? Because he's got to be perfect with his throw. Was he? Yeah, maybe. So, but it's a good call by Jershely. Nothing wrong with that at all. Moustakas trying to bring the mail home from second base. Get that hand in there. Get it in there. Oh, man, who knows? That's why they got replay, George. Are you a fan of replay?
I didn't know they traded Gordo to the Astros. That looked like Alex Gordon out there.
Look at that hand, though. Look at that finger. Those fingers look like they got in there. But you know
I think he's safe.
Yeah. Well, what we learned.
Well, you know what? I know he's safe now because they challenged him. And whenever Billy challenges something, he's right.
Super duper?
He's like 18 for 20 this year, something crazy. And the crowd roars because they just showed it on the scoreboard in center field. And it sure does look like Moose got his hand in there before the glove touched.
Sure is a nice slide. George, you had a lot of those, didn't you?
I never slid headfirst into home plate.
Really?
Never.
Interesting.
Back then, they blocked home plate.
They did, but I still...
Now they can't block it, so you can't go in. You can go in head first now or hands first, but back in that day, man, if you would have slid in head first, you would have broke a hand, broke a finger.
Or shoulder.
Or shoulder.
Exactly, because they dropped that shin guard right on.
Man.
A little different game.
Well, they're still reviewing it right now.
But George, look, my dad, he taught me there's no such word as can't.
Right.
Okay, that was important.
I agree with that.
Okay, never quit something you started. Don't be a quitter. Okay, that was important too to me. You know, if you start something, don't quit it. Even though if you don't like it, you get halfway through it. Don't quit. You already committed. Stay committed, and then next year, don't go out for it.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Good advice. Good advice. But
I needed it because I had a long career, George. I couldn't quit, man. I wasn't talented as you were, so I had to grind.
I think what my father did was teaching me never to be content, and every time I went on that field to give 100%. If he ever saw me jog on a ground ball in high school, I mean, I would have heard about it when I got home.
Exactly.
And so I learned to play the game hard, play the game the right way when I was, even in high school, or maybe.
They say he's out. Go ahead, George. Finish your thought. I know.
No, that was it. Being the youngest of 4 boys, my dad was always comparing me to my older 3 brothers, and I wasn't as good as them as in anything. Football, baseball, basketball, surfing, swimming, diving, golf. Yeah, they were all better athletes than I was, but I think that kept my drive going. And my father, always pushed me, always gave me encouragement. Every once in a while, the encouragement I thought was a little too tough, but he knew the type of kid I was back then. I was kind of a happy-go-lucky kid, and I really believed that if he didn't stay on me, then I wouldn't got to where I am today.
When you were throwing the first pitch out to Jackson today, it made me think of a story that kind of connects the two of us, and it's about a dad who we lost a few years ago, who was a great husband, great father. Both of us are fans of this gentleman, and a great author, Vince Flynn.
Oh, yes.
And because your son went to Minneapolis, St. Thomas.
Yeah, St. Thomas, and Vince took him under his wing. And in fact, Vince Flynn is the reason that he went up there, because he asked me one time, where do you think your son's going to go to school? And I said, I don't know. And the next thing you know, he said, you should have him come up here and look up here. So Jackson and I went to a Tommy Johnny game, and the next thing you know, he goes to St. Thomas.
And we may have had Mike Moustakas thrown out of the game. He was jawing at the home plate umpire, John Tumpain. Royals have already had a tough afternoon, losing Whit Merrifield.
Where did that ball hit him? I couldn't tell.
George,
sink it down and in,
right off his knee.
Below his kneecap.
No, on his kneecap, and the ball bounced back to the pitcher. So hit him squarely.
Yeah.
And now Ned,
this is what we need.
Exactly.
We need this. We need to get the boys fired up a little bit. Need a couple pitches high and tight, maybe a bench clear and brawl somewhere.
I'm with you, George.
Yeah.
Well, right now, Ned Yost.
Has he been thrown yet?
Somebody got tossed in the dugout. I
have not seen Tumpain.
But we'll see. I thought he pointed over there and threw somebody out before Ned even came out.
And then Moose started yelling at him.
Yeah. Sure hope they didn't throw him out. That's why managers go out to take they throw them out, not my player.
It's the first ejection of the season for anyone. We think it is Mike Moustakas, but we're waiting to get confirmation.
He hasn't moved. He's still in there.
I hope it's our trainer.
But you know what? The way we've been going down, we need him.
Yeah, but he can just sit in the hallway there and get them. But
you're right.
And Mike Moustakas now heading to the clubhouse.
Yeah, Yeah, George, when you foul a ball off your foot like that, or you're really bad, it's always a bad pitch, though. It's always a pitch you shouldn't swing at.
You know, I was watching Soler when he broke his foot. I think it might have been from a couple games ago when he hit a foul ball off his foot. You know, and maybe had a
festered it.
Yeah, just kind of tweaked it, and then starting to run. It didn't look like anything seriously happened there.
Well, maybe a little soft. The bone was a little already damaged.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, you played hurt before, so you understand.
I broke my foot, hit the ball off it in 8 League. 8 League, missed 30 games. Yeah, hit a ball right off my foot in San Jose.
Did they boot it with a cast?
I had a back then it was plaster cast.
Okay,
it was solid plaster.
But you played hurt numerous years. With little
you know what it's like, right? And you feel pretty good opening day, and after opening day, there's something bothering you every game. Something's always bothering you.
Oh, get out!
Hunter Dozier with a drive to deep left center field. Gone.
That's what we're talking about. Sir. Take it to your opponent. Ned stirred everybody up. Got a guy kicked out. This is baseball. When you've been getting your tail kicked, it's time to do some kicking yourself.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Rex.
Man, was that nice. And Dozier, he needed that. Lucas Duda going out on a rehab assignment. He knows what's coming. He's got to be able to produce. And when you produce, that makes that manager think twice about taking you out of that lineup. Good stroke. 2-run homer. That was timely.
Third home run of the year for Dozier. The Royals have their first lead of the game at 4-2. And they have confirmed that it was Mike Moustakas who was ejected from today's game. Mike, the designated hitter. So Ned does have some options. Escobar flies out to left center field. Springer with the catch, but the Royals do score 2 in the home run by Hunter Dozier. George Brett, happy Father's Day to you.
You too. You, George.
Great having you, buddy. You're the best, man.
Good to see you, pal.
Love you.
Lead on Father's Day. Fans refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save.
Man, was that beautiful. And I'm not just talking about that home run. That visit by George Brett fired me up. One of the big reasons I respect George, from many, but one of them is the kind of player he was. He gave 100%, and he would knock you down in a heartbeat, and he played the game. He was down and dirty. I respect that of him. And for him to be up here when all that was going on, That's perfect. He understands the game. The game has changed. It's not like it used to be, but that's okay. But it's a different game. Still, you got to take your fight to your opponent.
Gurriel lines out to the second baseman Mondesi, 1 out. He does have a fire about him, and there was that competitive edge that made him such a great player and a world champion in '85, leader of that team. Now Josh Reddick. There is ball 1. Brad Keller. His father Dan was on that father-son's trip, and my gosh, what a proud dad he is. Out of Flowery Branch, Georgia. It's a ground ball right side, fielded by Mondesi, who will throw him out. And there are 2 out now here in the 4th inning. But I remember Dan was being interviewed by Joel and Monty and Boston, and Dan got choked up. And you know, when a dad sees his son in a big league game for the first time, I mean, the emotions have to be incredibly dramatic.
And I don't imagine he had too many cameras in front of him in his life when he's there at such a joyous occasion in his life. He's going to bubble over. He's going to crack. I cracked when I saw it. Are you kidding? How many millions of people would love to be a big league ball player? And for that, that's a dream. And for that dream to come true for a lot of guys, it's amazing. It's hard to contain. Keller, Mr. Keller, you have a lot to be proud of. Brad Keller's going to be a star someday, Dan. Way to go. He already is a star, but he's got a chance to really make a nice living here for his family in the future.
Evan Gattis takes outside.
One of the things that's most impressive about Brad Keller is his aptitude. The fact that he listens. He's going about his first year in the big leagues very proper. That's what you do. You're all eyes and ears, but you retain. You listen and you learn. And he's a great student of that. Ned was talking about that before the game today.
Evan drops one into right field for a hit. Well, there is Dad Alex Gordon. Happy Father's Day to him. And defensive run saved. Who's been saving plenty this week.
He is worth the total ticket to come to the K and watch the Royals. Alex Gordon conditions himself unlike anybody else. He stays on it. Toyota really loves to see the way he saves runs.
1 on 2 out.
Fizz, while I'm just fresh, I mean, George Brett, I said many reasons I respect him. Probably the biggest reason I respect George is he waited to have his children when his career was over. Why? So he could be a good father. So he could be a dad that was there. This baseball, if you're having kids early in your career, by the time you're done with your career, your kids are grown and left already. And I saw many a ball player, many of my friends weeping at their locker, missing their kids' graduation, missing so many events in their life. It's painful. I respect George for waiting and having his family, and he could be a good father.
And that's why I'm really proud to work for an organization like the Royals, who allowed Cal Eldred to go home to watch his oldest daughter's dance recital the other day.
Family first.
Absolutely.
And you hear that a lot in other places, but it's not actually lived upon.
And by the way, Cal Eldred's son CJ pitched 6 innings for our rookie ball team at Idaho Falls yesterday. Gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Pitched very well.
Way to go. That's a good tie-in there.
Happy Father's Day to you, Cal. Arwen Gonzalez has been ultra hot last 11 games, 16 hits, 7 extra base hits. Took a rip at a fastball at 93.
That's it. You know, I know there's not a lot of talk in Houston about this kid Gonzalez being a free agent at the end of the year, but what a find he's going to be for a team out there. There's a lot of teams looking at him right now thinking, you know what a difference maker he's going to make on my team. Switch hitter, can play anywhere, could sell popcorn in the stands if A.J. Hinch would let him.
Last year in the World Championship season, hit .303 with 23 home runs and 90 driven in.
He can flat out rake.
He did not have one position. They just moved him all around the diamond. So third walk issued by Keller. Now he'll face the number 9 hitter, Brian McCann.
The catcher, number 16.
All right. Happy Father's Day to you, sir.
We've received information on Whit Merrifield, left knee contusion day to day. Left medial knee contusion. Strike, 1-1. McCann only hitting .215 this year. They have Bombers up and down their lineup. 91 home runs this year. That's 5th best in the American League, averaging 5.2 runs. That's number 1 in the AL.
Go after him. Keep the ball down. Take your chances. Good piece of hitting there. That's all you can do. The value of McCann is off the charts for many reasons. He's a veteran. He can handle pitching. He can hit any right-hander that's out there. Stassi, their backup catcher, can hit any left-hander that's out there. This is a well-rounded team.
The team that many picked to repeat as American League champions this year.
A lot of game left and a lot of season left. But what we've seen, just the first 2 games of this series and the first 4 innings in this game, they're the best we've seen.
Well, then also the pitchers we haven't seen. We haven't seen Verlander or Cole, who are their 2 very best pitchers.
That's good. We're happy about that.
Verlander, Cole, Morton, McCullers, Keuchel. That's quite a rotation. Springer hits it to right. Orlando trots back. Houston scores 1. Pull within 1 of Kansas City. It's 4-3. John Watson when we come back. working out, she might be the greatest athlete in the Wathen family. Would you agree, John Wathen?
There's no doubt about it. She is the best athlete in our family. Look, there was a low strike, and she handled it nicely.
See, yeah, she had some knee bend, and she got her hands extended out there, Duke. But let me tell you something. You weren't too shabby yourself.
Well, thanks, Red.
What a nice career you had.
Thank you. It was one that was kind of unexpected by a lot of people. I had a lot of people tell me I probably wouldn't play in the big league, so I was very fortunate to be on good teams, and they kept asking me back each year and got in 10 years.
And so with that, obviously your father was a big influence for you. What were some of the things that he encouraged?
You know what? Believe it or not, my mom and dad were separated. I was young. We moved from Iowa to San Diego, and I grew up with my mom. But I had two older brothers that were kind of influential. They told me that the quickest way to the big leagues would be to be a catcher.
Okay, now, earlier in the show, Fizz and I talked before the game to the people on Crown Vision. Happy Father's Day to you mothers out there that are fathering too. There's a lot of those parents out there, moms that are having to do both, right?
Well, not only that, you and I the same way. As much as we were gone in baseball, the moms had to be mother and father all the time when we were gone on the road all the time too.
They did it all. They wore all the hats. So hats off on Father's Day to you mothers. Believe that.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, Duke, right now, your son Dusty has that responsibility because he's the third base coach for the Phillies right now.
Exactly. And I was just there watching their 4 kids. They live in Charlotte in the off season. He's in Milwaukee with the Phillies. His wife had to go on a 2-day sabbatical. She's a teacher. And so I had the 4 kids by myself, and I was thinking they'd probably lock me in the closet and throw away the key.
It's not easy.
Well, here is some video of the great John Wathen.
Look at those. What locker is that? That's like high school lockers.
That's not a real locker.
Oh, okay.
Commercial.
You're a base stealer. Look at the wheels. See, we didn't pull any pictures of you throwing runners out. We only pulled out the ones you stealing bags.
Yeah.
Huh? Check this out. It's upright stance. Nice extension. Went the other way down the right field line. Is that a 3-bagger?
Might be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at you now giving signs. You did it all. Congratulations, bud.
Well, thank you.
And your kids, they're beautiful. We get to work with Dina a little bit. I don't get to see the other guys, but you must be proud.
I'm very proud of all my kids. They've done a great job, and they're good husbands and wives, and raising a good bunch of kids. We have 8 grandkids, and it's been fun to be around them because I was gone so much when my kids were growing up.
And John, I wanted to ask you, what was it like for you growing up? Because obviously you played a 162 game season. You had the spring training as well. So when you would get home, what was it like? Because all of a sudden, Dad's here.
Well, it was great to get home. Obviously, my wife would make sure the car was washed and the kids were pressed, and I'm sure it wasn't like that the whole time I was gone.
Yeah, the clothes were pressed, not the kids.
And the first thing I tell minor league coaches right now is, when you get home from a road trip, don't ask your wife that you want to tell her you want to go play golf after being gone for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But I said, when you get older like I am now, Nancy says to me, don't you have a golf game today? So there is a time later in life where it gets better.
Fantastic. Hey, Duke, can I brag on you a little more? 36 steals in 1982 is a catcher's record that stands today. No wonder you get offended whenever Rhino and I or Fizz and I say, well, he runs well for a catcher. Because catchers, with his squatting all the time, they really don't have the opportunity, to stretch their legs, so they're not the fast runners.
You're right.
Where do you credit that to?
Well, you know what? Rex, growing up, I played a lot of different positions. There was always a fat catcher that couldn't play another position.
Exactly.
And so he would be the catcher, and I'd say, can you play center field or third base or first base? And I played right field and left field in the big leagues, first base, and caught. And so I would say, sure, I could do that. And to this day, I still feel that helped me play 10 years in the big leagues, my versatility. Because back then, we didn't have as many pitchers on a staff. We had 11 or 12, so we were able to carry 3 catchers, and the third catcher sometimes played other positions. So I think it helped me to play 10 years.
And I think Bob Boone played third base when he was at Stanford, and he played a long time in the big leagues, but he said that allowed him to recover because he did not have to do all that squatting back in college baseball.
Oh, exactly. I was always, even in the minor leagues, I didn't catch all the time. So I didn't have the wear and tear a lot of catchers do.
Did you ever straight steal home?
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
No.
It's not easy to do.
No.
You have to have the right situation and the right time to do that. But look, stealing 32 bags in one season, heck, I barely did that. And that was my game. I was a speed guy. So
I cheated hard.
You did? Well, how did you cheat?
Walking late. The pitchers would hold the ball the same amount of time, like 1001, 1002. So you'd time it walking off the bag. They'd already be in their stretch, and I'd be real close to the bag. So they think he's not going anywhere. I just start walking, and I'd only have to be off a couple steps. With a walking lead and movement, you can beat a guy who's in his normal steal position, stationary, every time if you have the same speed.
I would use the term, or the word smart. You were smart base stealer. You didn't cheat.
A lot of dumb pitchers out there didn't hold the ball long enough.
No, you're right, but that's smart base stealing, I think.
No different than guys do at second base with a walking lead, you know, and get some movement going.
Whitley does that well. It's a drop in there.
And it does. And Orlando will make it to second base.
That gives us a little more time with Duke up here. Duke, what's the best advice you can give a young father that has maybe 3 or 4 young kids like Ryan Lefevre, without mentioning any names?
About baseball, about sports?
No, about fathering.
Okay.
Father advice that you would give. You know, especially with,
probably be truthful all the time. You know, there's going to be some times you want to fib or lie a little bit to tell them, you know, to protect your kid or whatever. I think the truth is always what works the best. And
being honest.
As far as baseball, I think basketball, whatever the sport, I think too many fathers push their kids into these sports. I told my kids growing up, play whatever you want, do whatever you want. If you want to play the violin, if you want to be a doctor, an attorney, well, maybe not an attorney. But whatever you want to do, don't play baseball for me. And I think because of that, all my kids played baseball, including Dina, and then she went into volleyball later on in college.
That was very good comedic timing by you.
Yeah, and better out of your mouth than mine. Thank you. Way to go, Duke. No. You know what? There's just fathering. Being a good father is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
It is.
Now anybody can be a father, but if you're going to sacrifice, you're going to put your golf time away, you're going to help mom when she needs help, and you're going to do laundry, you're going to help her with the dishes, you're going to cook dinner. That's being a good, well-rounded father, and that's hard to do.
Well, it is, especially when you're gone all the time. You know what I tried to do all the time? I coached all my kids in basketball in the winter because I wasn't around to see a lot of their baseball in the summer. So about 15 straight years I coached basketball with all 3 of them.
You're a great father, Duke. Great to think. Congratulations, man.
Happy Father's Day to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Everybody on the staff up here.
Thanks for coming.
Doctor.
The Pizza Ranch for the win. Brad Keller.
How about it? Look at trusting your defense is what the key is. But what Ned Yost said before the game is exactly right. Fastballs down and away get you outs. And he's gotten 2 double plays on those pitches there. Challenging him with that heater, that's been the key for Keller. Go after him.
Alex Bregman will lead things off. This will be a big inning for Brad Keller as Houston's offense makes their adjustments on the young right-hander.
Nothing better than that. Could you please let sister in there? Let her have a spoon. Okay, thank you. Share. Easy out, he'll take it.
Yeah, she's digging in. She was able to get a bite. Nothing like being at the ballpark and sharing.
No, absolutely nothing. That's priceless right there. These kids are getting an opportunity to be at the K, one of the most beautiful ballparks in the world, with their dads, and it doesn't get any better.
Jose Altuve dumps one into right field. He's been on base 3 times with a couple of walks and now a single. Well, let's name them our Pepsi fans of the game. For sharing.
How could we not? She says, let me have some more. That's delicious. And I love her brother. Absolutely letting her, not fighting her, backing her off at all. But Fizz, my dad took me to my first big league game at Candlestick Ballpark, and I was 9 years old, 1969. And I'll never forget the moment when I called him today. He's 85 years old. I said, Dad, that was a special moment in my life. I'll never forget it. Those kids, this could be their first game. Got to have the screen too. Sunscreen on a day like today. That's a must.
Came in tight. Now the Royals have turned 2 double plays for Keller today. Both started by second baseman. First was Whit Merrifield, and then when Merrifield was injured, Adalberto Mondesi. There you go.
Well, that's fun back there. You can take your kids when they get a little bit hot, take them for a little walk in back of the ballpark. Sunday fun day. Sundays are the best. Carousel back there. Fountains, you hear them. Unlike any other ballpark. That light fountain area right there, that's all brand new. That's beautiful areas. There's big shade there.
So many first memories by kids are at the ballpark with their dads.
I mean, but this is all renovated when they redid the stadium, and this has added a whole nother venue, whole nother attraction to the venue here. There's the little K. You see the stands around where kids can go and play ball. Yeah.
Family fun day Sunday.
Yeah, look at it. They got little pitchers mounted there. You can throw and get your times and see how hard you're throwing, and just a lot of fun at the ballpark. It's not just, I mean, the game is in itself is fun. But that's a good fastball there, 93 on his hands.
Got a 3-1 count.
Oh, she's
now
got.
They're digging for gold right there.
She got out of her seat. Now that's business. She means business. She's digging, and it's still brother's okay.
I do like the patience that the brothers show.
I love that. That's the best shot of the day. Besides that 2-run home run by Dozier. Brad Keller, 62 pitches here in the 5th inning.
He doesn't seem bothered at all.
No, I am impressed with him. Yeah. And obviously no brain freeze.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they got to have a little wash down. But I'm very impressed.
Look at that.
Very impressed with the brother, the older brother.
To third, only play will be first base. Correa is out, number 2.
While we're talking about it, quality family at the K has never been easier with Family Fun Day Sundays presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Enjoy pregame activities for the whole family, and then after the game, kids under 14 can test their speed rounding the bases on the field with the Kansas City Zoo Fun Run. Get your tickets at Royals.com/Sunday. Guarantee you be the best time of the week.
Now Gurriel. He knocked in a run on a single in the 1st inning. He's been remarkably tough with runners in scoring position this year. Now batting over .460.
This is a big at bat here for Keller. Keller's got to focus and execute. If he can execute his pitches, he can get the job done.
One ball, 1 strike.
Heaters around the square there, you see. That's the little square that's brand new this year.
Too short.
Nicely done.
Did a fine job in the 5th. Royals take a 4-3 lead to the bottom of number 5 here at the K.
Yum, yum.
First look at Bracel Herrera, a switch hitter who was wearing number 7. He was a waiver claim from the Reds on June 2nd. 25-year-old young man out of Dominican Republic. Got his first taste of Major League ball earlier this year, going 2 for 11 for Cincinnati. His first at bat for KC as he is in the on deck circle. Alex Gordon will lead things off.
Alex hit a good hard ground ball. His last time up. Took the walk his first time. Alex would hit anywhere in the lineup. There's a big fan of his. There's many. He has thousands of fans here. But he sees his name at second in the lineup. Sometimes it's like, wow, all right, I want to hit in the first inning.
He walked in the first and scored the first of 2 runs in that frame that tied the game.
That contusion that Merrifield got today on that foul ball, it might leave him out. I don't know how long, for whatever, but someone's gonna have to step up. And Fizz, for the record, we're all day to day. They're going to stay with that pitch on Alex, and then a little breaking ball down and in, hoping he'll roll over to first base. They got to pull it over there. Alex, if 2 strikes, you know, he's going to kind of be aware, but if he can get one middle away, he'll slap it to left field. That's going to be good for him. He's been going that way more.
In there, strike 3 called. So that's 5 on the afternoon for Lance McCullers. And here is the newest Royal, Bracel Herrera. 6'3", 195, very athletic, hit 276 in the minor leagues in his career in over 800 games. The other thing the Royals have to like about him, he has speed. He's stolen over 130 stolen bases in his career, minor league career.
Yep, talked about him being an athlete. 25 years old. Could be a good pickup. Let's hope so.
Was originally signed by the Colorado Rockies in 2009, then moved to Cincinnati and left unprotected, and the Royals were able to claim him.
Bracel. Athletes, gotta have them.
swings and misses. That's 3 in a row for McCullers and 6 for the game.
Fizz, you know, we get letters from fans all over lots of times, but I got a great letter and a photograph from a 90-year-old Roy Pounds, and he's from Lyons, Nebraska, and he sent me this letter, talked about his baseball career, and he was a player in his day, but today him and his lovely wife are celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary. And I said, hey, sir, thank you for the letter. I wrote him back and told him I will give you a shout out in the game. And thank you for your dedication to the Royals. He says he watches every single Royals game, and say happy 70th wedding anniversary to the Pounds on Father's Day.
Congratulations. Way to go.
You believe that?
Salvador Perez is 2 for 2, both singles to left field.
I don't know if I mentioned that Mr. Pounds is 90 years old. Watches every single game.
And didn't he play a little pro baseball?
He did. He played in the 50s. It's interesting to see. He played for the Cardinals and a few other teams. But you know, we love to hear from fans time to time. Mail us here at the ballpark, you know. And it's great to hear from them. Staying alive. And you know, one of the questions I failed to ask either George or Duke Wathan that was in here was the 50th season, and how has it been so far this year? Getting to see a lot of their former teammates, a lot of the old. Lou Piniella was here. I mean, we haven't seen Lou in a long time at this ballpark, and it's really fresh for all of the fans to be able to get reacclimated with some of their great players in the past.
Johnny Damon, Carlos Beltran have been here celebrating our 50 years Royals baseball in Kansas City. All began in 1969. After the A's had left in '67, we were without big league baseball for just 1 year, and then Mr. Kaufman said, bring baseball back, and he did. In there, and Lance McCullers strikes out the side.
Where I was in high school, and then once I went to college, he really couldn't coach me anymore because I was away from home. But you know, he taught me everything that I know about the game, and made me the player that I am.
That's Ryan talking about his dad, Robert, who we had a chance to meet on the father's trip in Boston. Just a terrific gentleman. And I remember talking with Robert about his son's defense, and he said, you know what, my son was always so natural, and obviously we worked at it, but he was able to identify being a shortstop, the throws, it came so naturally to him.
Yeah, and you know, you're lucky if you're born with that, but even if you're not and you have a passion, Uh-oh. There we go. There's still some chirping going on from the Royals dugout, and Tom Payne just threw out another Royal. Maybe that's Danny Duffy.
So the Royals have lost 2 this afternoon. Mike Moustakas and now Danny Duffy, is the frustration building with the Royals losing 5 straight and 11 of their last 12. Josh Reddick 0 for 2. Strike in there. That was the first career ejection for Danny. Reddick hitting it to the opposite field. The Royals were playing the shift, so they had Escobar on the second base side, and Reddick singles.
Fans purchase 20 or more tickets for a single game and receive a 20% discount. Group tickets are available for all home games, and groups of 20 or more can save big. Call 816-404-4040 for email group sales at royals.com to start planning your next big event. Nice crowd here this afternoon.
It's the 4th opposite field hit by a Houston batter today. Evan Gattis had one of them last time up with 2 outs, single to right field, and then Gonzalez walked and McCann singled in a run to make it 4-3. Ball gets away from Salvi, and Reddick goes to second base and stops.
Too bad. Now that one will be a wild pitch. It bounced. Salvi tried to backhand it. Couldn't stick in the glove.
Base hit left field. They will hold Reddick at third base, respecting the arm of Alex Gordon.
Gary Pettis, he's not going to let Alex throw out another one of his base runners. Gattis continues to stay hot. Fastball in on his hand, strong guy, and there's Pettis. Love him. What, 4-time Gold Glover in his day. He's a career baseball man and a great father himself. His son was a great football player too. I don't know if he's still playing professional now, but I know he's a star at UCLA. Nobody out. Keller's got to hold on to this 1-run lead and do the best he can against the best team in baseball and the best hitting team with runners in scoring position.
And the Royals will give up a run to get 2 outs. If Gonzalez hits the ball directly at an infielder.
I believe that would be the case.
Because Keller has not struck a man out in this game. Kevin McCarthy up in the Royals bullpen. Royals adding some experience this week into that pen. Getting back Justin Grimm from the disabled list, recalling Willie Peralta and Brandon Maurer. Barlow and Torres were sent out today. Two and one.
Take a look at Gonzalez's hands where he's holding them. You know, every hitter starts at a different position. They're all different, but they all get to where they want. But he keeps his hands down by his number 9. His hands are down low, and what he does is he can just fire from that position. He stays inside the ball. That way you use the whole field. He hits it. Look at his hands. See how comfortable he is? Look at the movement in his fingers. Okay, he calls to ask for time right there. That's good. He stuck his hand out and asked for time, but kept his eye on the pitcher in case the umpire didn't give him time. Keep your focus, but watch the hands. Watch his fingers. Look at the fingers, how loose. You looser the hands, the quicker your reaction is. He's just going to fire. He's comfortable. Start from a comfortable position as a hitter. You want to feel, you don't want to feel any tension anywhere in your legs or your hands. Your shoulders, you see guys shrug their shoulders, and you see them take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Give the reaction the time to react. Your muscles a chance to react quicker. There you go. Blew that heater. Blew a heater right by him. Let's see what his hands are doing now. Watch him, okay? Watch him now. When the ball's on the way, look at him loading his hips. They tighten up. The hands tighten up right away, naturally. But before you strike, before you swing at the ball, you got to keep him loose. It'll be quicker. I say go back with the same pitch. Challenge him. You can't afford to walk him here. Nobody out. Get after him. Make him hit it to a double play.
Fouled off. Now, holding the hands down, is he vulnerable to a fastball up?
He's by holding his hands down. Sometimes that tells you I don't want to swing at the ball up. You duck that. So maybe he's thinking, you know, by holding his hands down there, I'm going to go down and get the ball, the one down where they're trained to pitch. It just all depends on the quickness of the hands. 95 is an excellent pitch. It's above average major league fastball.
Keller has had a couple of taxing innings in this game through 20 pitches in the fourth. Here on a hot afternoon, 13 so far, and still looking to get his first out of the sixth. Through 85 last time out at Oakland. Much cooler afternoon there. And he struck him out on the high heat. Okay. Went right after him, Hunt, at 96.
Yeah, there you go, Fizz. There's the answer right there. You know what? He stayed at him. You know, you got to attack. No outs. This time of the game here, his pitch count's getting up there a little bit. But Mo Lottery will show you he finished him with a heater. That's 3 fastballs in a row. He went right after him. That's what you got to do.
Reddick still at third. Gattis at first. McCann the batter.
McCann, here's the guy you want to put in the lane here.
Right there. A 4, a 6, and a 3 double play. Nicely done.
Ham and eggs, roll them up. Third of the day on Father's Day. Beautiful.
of the game.
Yep, George Brett, Hall of Famer, greatest Royals player, one of the greatest players, period, in history, was up here in the booth when that ball went out of here, and that was so nice. That was a big, big home run. His third of the season, ram drive of the game.
Gave the Royals the lead, and the 6th inning is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Steve Lassard from Olathe. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Steve will win $2,300. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park in this inning, Steve will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
Look at Keller. Way to go. Keeping his team in the game against a pretty good World Championship caliber team in the Astros. Champions from last year.
Strike one to Hunter, who's been on twice, reaching on an error and then blasting that 2-run home run you just saw.
Curveball, talked about that 86 miles per hour velo. 5 mile an hour over the average speed of a knuckle curve. They call it knuckle curve. It's really a spike curve. And index his fingers up on there. They call it knuckle.
Back up the middle. Altuve, quick toss. Just does get him. It's sprint trivia time. Name the 3 players aged 37 or older to lead the American League in doubles. Thinking Paul Molitor or Hal McRae or George Brett.
Yeah. Like them. Like all those guesses.
The Royals Stadium has always been an extra base ballpark. I know Molitor always had a lot of extra base hits.
Is that in the history? I mean, between when? Did I get that?
History of the game.
Okay.
Leading.
Thanks for the question. Well, how about Ty Cobb?
Pretty good guess. He's a guy who had a lot of extra base hits and didn't go for the home runs. As a matter of fact, he had a big argument with Babe Ruth back in the day.
Boy, he had a lot of speed too. He could, you know.
Oh yeah.
He had a lot of leg doubles.
Well, they had a situation where Babe Ruth was getting all the notoriety back in the day, HUD, because of the home runs he was hitting. And here's Ty Cobb, practically hitting 400 every year, and he was getting a little cranky with the media, only loving on Babe Ruth. So he went out, and with his choke-up style, he hit 3 home runs in one game. He said, "See, I can do it if I wanted to too." He was a tough old cuss from Georgia.
Yeah, the game's not that easy.
No, you're right.
But maybe for some.
I know Hal led the league in doubles one year, but I don't know if he was over 37 when he did it. And the clue is since 1969.
Thank you.
So we're not going back to Cobb's era.
I wonder if Lou Brock was in there. He played till he was older, right? Oh, American League only. My bad.
Escobar goes down on strikes. That's 8 strikeouts for Lance McCullers and 89 this year.
Color's settling in. He's working it. I'm seeing a tremendous fastball from him. 95 to 96. And when you have a curveball that bites like his does, with the rotation, spin rate, whatever you want to call it, the bite, you're going to pile up some strikeouts.
outside. 2-1. Goins with a shot to right. Bangs high off the fence, and he will wind up at second base with a 2-out double. He barely missed his first home run of the year.
Oh, man. You know what? Just if he could have got under that just a tad, that would have been out of here on the line. Crosswind blowing from right field foul pole to the left didn't matter. He squared it up. Great swing. Two-hand finish on the swing for good follow through. He's talking to the ball right now. Get up, get up. I'm sorry, I'll take a double. And with 2 outs, see if Almonte can chip him home. Chip one in there. Almonte, hitless in his last 17 at-bats, has taken the last 2 at-bats, called looking. You need to swing the bat. Anything close with 2 strikes. But now he's in favorable count. 1-0. There you go. Talked about his fastball being a plus today. It's working. That sets up the curve. 5 of the 8 strikeouts today on the curveball. Tough pitch to hit unless you see it out of the release point eye level. Then it's going to be a good pitch to hit. If it comes out belt high, it's going to be in the dirt. Don't swing at it. Boy, it'd be nice. Almonte, he'd love a hit for confidence here. It's Tony Sipp out there loosening up.
There was a knuckle curve that hung a little bit. Spun it back to the screen to even the count at 2-2.
Yeah, adjust your hands. Anything close here, be hacking, especially with a runner in scoring position. And the opponents, Astros, averaging over 5 runs per game. No lead is safe against them. Get as many as you can.
Third time he struck out. McCullers 9th of the day. 4-3. Royals leading going to the 7th. Royals leading 4-3, and 6 innings, allowed 9 hits, 3 runs. Boy, he got out of a wicked jam in that 6th inning. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Struck out Gonzalez, got McCann on a 4.63. And now it's our Chevy call to the bullpen, Kevin McCarthy.
All right, let's see if Keller can get it to the pin to win. Do the job, whatever it takes. Doesn't matter if it's a ground ball, fly ball, strikeout. Try to do the best job you can. Execute your pitches. McCarthy, he's a bulldog. Pound down. Strike zone down. Use your defense. Just like that.
Goins. 1 out.
Sinker, slider, curve, change. He's got 4. Goins, very good hands. Nice play. Now I want to talk about Keller. Keller was fantastic. Every time out, he's getting better and better. He's getting out of jams. He's facing the world champions today, but maybe one of his best outings. This is a team that'll rake against fastballs, and he was able to challenge guys, come back in counts, especially that strikeout against Gonzalez. His only one. It was a big one. And he got McCann 3 ground ball double plays. That's called fastball command down in the zone away. Ned Yost got to be pleased with his outing.
But that's 4 straight good outings on his starts. And the Royals were building up his arm strength because he was coming out of the bullpen. Gave up 1 run in 3 innings in his first start, 1 run in 4 1/3 of his second start, and 2 runs in 5 1/3 of his last start. And here is Mondesi throwing out Bregman, and 2 gone here in the 7th inning. Live coverage of the FIFA World Cup continues tomorrow at 6 in the morning on FS1 as Sweden takes on Korea Republic. Then on Fox, Belgium battles Panama at 9, followed by Tunisia versus England at noon. The FIFA World Cup Monday on Fox and FS1, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Oh, it's so good. Fizz, watch out for Mexico. They knocked off the defending champion Germans. They 1-0 beat Germany. Mexico, they have a chance. They've got a great team. Paulo Orlando's, his Brazilians, they tied Switzerland today 1-1.
You got all the numbers.
These are fantastic event, Fizz. These athletes, their footwork, the way they can stop and start and run with that ball is amazing.
Oh, nice pickup by Kevin.
What an inning. That's exactly what he's talking about right there. 5-pitch, sinker down, ground ball artist. Nice.
Yes, he does. Tagging at first base is Kevin. And what are you thinking about? Don't you know it's Alex Gordon in left field? Alex lays out and makes another sensational catch. Wow. to watching Alex Gordon. This is our game break. Check out this catch by Billy Hamilton.
Wow. Man, right, look at that. Snow coned it. That's beautiful feel in the fingertips, and the ground could not cause a fumble right there. Nicely done. He feathered it. Watch how the body absorbs most of the blow, and he holds that glove off the ground. That's phenomenal.
Well, Tony Sipp comes out of the bullpen. He is our Chevy call to the bullpen. He has been very solid, and he's always tough against lefties.
Yeah, you know what? And he's a veteran guy, man. Sipp, 34 years old. He's held lefties for this 3 for 30. That's a $100 mark this year. A 100 average.
I like the $100 mark.
I'm thinking of that 100 you gave me, Biz. Thank you.
So the Royals will have a right-hander coming up in Orlando, and then a switch hitter in Mondesi, who will be batting from the right side as well. Orlando doubled his last time up, blooping one to right down towards the line. 3 fielders converge and the ball dropped, and he went to second base. He had 2 hits on Friday, his first multi-hit game since April 13th. Hits that one pretty well to right center field, but looks like it's measured by George Springer. And 1 out. Name the player, 3 players aged 37 or older to lead the American League in doubles.
How about Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer?
That's the one
You can have credit for it, but we got to throw him a name, see if it works.
Strike 1. You know, I always think of big ballparks where they have the doubles leaders, and of course Kauffman Stadium, big ballpark.
Well, we always like to ask, you know, I mean, we always throw George Brett's name out because he holds a lot of Royals records and some national records.
And he was such an aggressive base runner. So why don't we throw George out there?
Let's do it.
That's
ding,
one.
Ding, ding. Finally, we got a ding, ding, ding. Get in there.
Oh, nice play by Bregman. And he just does get to Speedy Mondesi.
Okay, Mondesi now from the right side of the plate. 2 hoppers. He struck out twice earlier. Now Bregman makes a nice play on him, but it's good to see some fresh legs running down the line.
Alex has been on once. He walked in the first and scored. Houston shifts 3 infielders right side, and Bregman is right on the edge of the infield grass in between second and third.
It's all right. Alex, he knows what he wants to do here. Shoot him to left. How about a HOU McRae?
He had a lot of doubles, but I don't know how many after the age of 37. I just don't know. He had 54 one season. I do remember that. But that was in the 77 season, and I wasn't that old then. Holtz, you want to help us out here? He came up with a question, probably.
Yeah, you know what? I'm staying with my former hitting coach. Great guy, tremendous baseball man, HOU McRae.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. We got 2. We need 1 more, Fizz. Come on. You know, on this day in 1987, Hal McRae got his final hit in RBI in his Hall of Fame career, his Royals Hall of Fame career. So that's great that they had him as one.
They hit Alex.
Well, that's the perfect way to get hit.
Just grazing.
On the jersey, yeah.
Was it okay? I thought he was hit.
It was ball 4.
I thought it grazed his jersey.
That's okay. He'll take the base no matter what. 2 outs. Herrera has a chance to do something pretty big on for his first hit.
And this is where Brent Strom might be reminding him about a scouting report of Rosell Herrera.
It could be.
Ken Giles is warming in the Houston bullpen. He has been their closer this year. But during this 10-game win streak, they haven't needed him that much. They've had so many blowouts, averaging 7.5 runs per game.
Yeah.
Royals lead this one 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th.
See if he can pick out a fastball that he likes. Sinking fastball. 88-93 is Tony Sipp. Sinking fastball, slider, change.
Royals really like this young man's versatility at the plate. Rosell Herrera, he can play all 3 outfield spots. Also can play third base.
And he has the ability to get on. Not a power hitter. They'll take one. He's got to feel pretty good when you're in a new uniform like that. You have the wait and let me show you what I got attitude. This young man, Joel, did another great job earlier interviewing him, catching him, and we heard him talk about, I like to play hard. That's the only thing I can give to my team, my effort, and that's a good comment right there, especially now. Players selling out, going 100%, making a difference.
Just high. He was a career 276 hitter in the minor leagues with 42 home runs, hit 1 this year for the Royals in Omaha. So he only played 10 games for Omaha.
Okay, he's got some pop then.
3 doubles, 2 triples.
I'd like to see him run. Look at Dad giving some advice there. He's telling her his daughter right there, watch him hit the gap. And we'll watch him take off and run.
Bregman just does get him. To the 8th we go. 4-3 Royals.
Jeff Montgomery, for the first time after 10 straight scoring 3 or less, they've scored 4. Add in the pitching, they're in a game.
Yeah, really are. Brad Keller, tremendous job, especially getting out of that 6th inning. Set up a great opportunity here for this bullpen to hold this thing down.
All right, so we've got a lot to talk about coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. I don't know if we'll talk about spin rate, that's HUD's deal, but maybe we could talk spin, or we could talk revelations, whatever it is. I've got this revelation, 2 of the best dads out there, Fizz and HUD. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Goldie. You and Monty are the best, man. I'm cracking up. Are you kidding me? Look, we went over this before the game, me and Fizz, about spin rate. Revelation, he's got this kind of revolution. That's what we want. Look, I'm not a wordologist, but Brandon Maurer, he's a pitchologist. Hopefully he can take that ball from McCarthy on his 5-pitch inning and pound that strike zone and take this 8th inning role that potentially Ned Yost has for him, and it looks that way, huh, Fizz?
Yes, and Joel, it is Sunday, so it's okay to talk about the Bible and Revelations.
Way to go.
And I am a proud father to Ryan and Kevin, and a proud grandpop to Taylor, Elliott, and Grayson.
Yep, congratulations, bud. Hey, look, let's just get a W. Hey, we'll celebrate Father's Day later. I'm getting a little nervous right now.
Brandon Maurer goes 3-0 on Carlos Correa. It'll be Correa, Gurriel, and Reddick. And time was called. Three and 1. Correa singled in a run in the first, hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 5th. Oh my. Tie game.
Three-1 pitches to the middle of the order need to be commanded, because those are the pitches he's looking for, and if it's right down the middle, this can happen. 3-1, that's a hitter's count, and you're throwing it to one of the most dynamic young power hitters in the game today, and he's not going to miss. Command.
Now Gurriel, who takes strike 1. Goins had no chance, so he held on to it. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Ford, going further so you can, and by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery with Steel. Search STIHL. Ned Yost coming out to get Maurer, and yes, he has asked for the lefty Tim Hill to face Josh Reddick. And we'll be right back. 4-4 ball game, Astros and Royals, and we'll see a pinch hitter Tyler White step to the plate, face the left-handed throwing Tim Hill. Down the line. Runners second and third with nobody out here in the 8th.
Hill tried to sneak a piece of cheese by a pinch hitter there that was hungry, and he was ready to hit it. That's what you do. When you're pinch hitting, you're coming off the bench, you got to be careful with that first pitch. That first pitch is what he's looking for. And he's right over the plate there, and he's able to hook it for a double. It's his first pinch hit of the year, and he's going to be pinch ran for by Marisnik.
That means in the bottom half of the inning, Marisnik will go to center field, and Springer will move from center to right.
Yep, they have outfielders that can rove and play different positions. Nobody out. Infield's got to stay in. Be careful. Gattis swings a pretty mean bat. Watch your lips out there if you make some contact. Boy, that would have been nice. A little pop up in the infield.
He got it back and out of play, and strike one. Kevin McCarthy worked a 1-2-3 7th inning, but Maurer started the 8th, gave up a home run and a single. Hill came on, gave up the double, second and third, nobody out. Oh, and 2. Base hit right field. They will score just the one. Moving to third on the play is Tyler White or Jake Marisnik.
Haven't been able to figure out Gattis the whole 3-game series. Almost better off putting him on. Heck, just walking him. But look at it. Salvi's sitting outside, and there it was, a mistake, a little 3-inch mistake over the middle. 92. He's not looking to do anything but just to get the runs home. And by doing that, he gets 1 run home and also moves the runner over into scoring position. Still nobody out.
Arwen turns things around, batting from the right side. Justin Grimm warming for the Royals. That ball struck well. Base hit. In comes one more. Houston leads by 2.
Hitting with runners in scoring position is what the Houston Astros do best, especially when they have favorable counts and favorable outs. None.
Well, they came out of the gate here in the top of the 8th inning with 5 straight hits, a home run, a single, a double, pair of singles, and it's 6-4 Houston.
6 for 12 in runners in scoring position for the Astros today.
McCann 2 for 3 this afternoon. Came off the disabled list on Friday. Right knee problem. He swings and misses, and it's 0-2. just off the plate. Hill, I think, thought it was a strike. Didn't get the call from home plate umpire John Tempane. Ooh, how about that? A slider. There was only 81 miles an hour, and McCann way out in front, strikes out.
Hey, Royals fans, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. It's presented by Miller Lite.
It definitely gives that a new meaning, and it kind of brings to light everything that he went through early on with me and everything. So it's more of an appreciation for him, and as well as enjoying new time with the little man.
That is Justin Grimm talking about his father and also about being a new dad. And he became a father on May 25th when Austin James Grimm came into his life. Baby boy. And now Justin on the mound, and Springer with a vicious rip and fouls it off, strike one.
He knows that heater's coming. Grimm's got a good one, mid-90s. He's got an overhand curve that's also a special pitch for him. Change up as well. 3 good ones. Stay right down in there and keep the ball down. Hopefully Springer will hit it into a double play. That would be the 4th of the afternoon for the Royals, which would be excellent. Get their offense back in there. A couple more chances at him.
Cohen's nice play, got one and done.
There you go. Now you write it up. Now get back in there, get some guys on in the big black. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Grimm.
Bottom of the 8th inning of play, and Ken Giles is the new pitcher out on the mound for the 26th time this year. He has been their closer, but he's coming on for the bottom of the 8th here because rather high ERA, 4.76.
It is, and you know what? He's only given up 1 home run though. He's a good, effective pitcher if he can keep the ball to the middle like anybody else. Opponent's hitting 280. He's 6'2", 205, 27 years old. 93 to 98 with his fastball, slider. Fastball slider combination. It's not an easy job. Reddick in center field.
And Springer goes to right.
They have a lot of versatility in their outfield, which is key and always important.
Salvi checks his swing and knocks it foul. Perez 2 for 3 today with a pair of singles. Give the fan a souvenir off to the right side. Nice catch.
Yeah, off of the deflection. It's really good. Look at that. There he is. Should be proud. That's your pops. Give it to dad sitting next to you. Good catch.
We asked that trivia question earlier. We're able to get 2. Name the 3 players aged 37 or older to lead the American League in doubles.
How many strikes do we have tonight? 1 strike. We have 2 right. Who are the 2? Or 2 Royals?
We got Brett and McCray.
Thank you. All right, I have a guess, and I know this guy played a long time. I think he could be the answer, but I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there.
Are we just going to have a conversation about it?
No. Yeah, we can. We can throw it out there, but what about Pete Rose?
No, it's American League. Pete was a National Leaguer.
Dang, I thought for sure.
What about Wade Boggs?
Ooh, I don't know. That's right. I forgot it's American League. All right. What do you think, Fizz?
Okay, I'll go with Wade Boggs. Oh, strike 2.
Okay.
I thought.
How about
Boggsy might be the answer because Dave Holtzman had a great quote from Wade in his notes today. He usually has a quote that relates to the day or situation, how a team is playing, and it was about Wade Boggs' Hall of Fame speech when he pointed out to his father, who was out in the audience.
Do you think that Big Daddy Vladdy might have did that?
Well, here's Wade Boggs' quote first. Anyone can be a father, but it takes a special someone to be a dad, and that's why I call you Daddy. Pointed to his father in the Hall of Fame ceremony at Cooperstown, because you are special to me. You taught me the game and taught me how to play it right. You think Wade was choked up when he said that? Wow. Dozier grounds out. Well, you said Big Daddy Vladdy? I don't know. Okay.
Future Hall of Famer, American League. Who's out there?
What, Jim Rice? He had a lot of doubles.
No. No, he already is a Hall of Famer. Future Hall of
did
Famer.
they say it's a future Hall? Oh, that means he's still playing. Future Hall of Famer.
No, he's no longer playing.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go with Big Daddy Vladdy. Huh? I'm letting you have the final answer, Hud.
Yep. Let's go with Vladdy.
Oh, rats.
We lost again?
Yes, we lost again. And the survey says David Ortiz.
Big Poppy. Great guess.
Jim Rice is a Hall of Famer.
So you don't think about guys like that really that aren't known for their speed, but he sure could hit. Fun to watch him perform his last years. At his best years, over 35. Heck, he had his best year in his last year.
Unbelievable.
Huh?
On damaged knees. He said that's why I couldn't come back. Wasn't healthy enough. 2/3. Bregman throws at Escobar. 3 up, 3 down. To the 9th we go. 6-4 Houston. On Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Ram, powered by Ram trucks built to serve. And try the $4.99 Jackson Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough, new from Jack in the Box. They've been digging on that all day long. They've got another ice cream cone or ice cream sundae right there.
Staying the entire game. You got to love that.
Thanks, Pop.
No doubt.
Justin Grimm stays in the ball game. Royals did have Herrera warming up, but he sat down. And Grimm, who got the last 2 outs of the 8th inning on a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play, will face Bregman, Altuve, and Correa. Two balls, 2 strikes to Alex Bregman, who is 1 for 4 today. There's 4 hits in this series, 2 of them home runs. Star player in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then his senior year had some injury problems. Dropped in the draft, so he went to LSU, became an All-American there, and drafted 1st round by Houston. They have a good, talented young team. Springer 28, Bregman 24, Jose Altuve's 28, Correa 23. Ball struck pretty well, and Almonte going back. It's off the top of the wall, and Bregman with his 2nd hit.
He waited on that curve. Catch the Royals versus the Angels makeup game on Monday, June 25th for just $5 through the MLB Ballpark app. Your discounted upper level ticket must be purchased and delivered through the app. So some restrictions apply. Visit MLB Ballpark app for details. It's a pretty good deal, but you got to make sure that you go through the app.
Bregman will tag and go to third.
You know, Fizz, Kurt Nelson does a great job at the Royals Hall of Fame with the historical facts. And today, he wanted to honor, on this day in 1987, Dick Howser passed away. He was just 51 years old. He led the Royals to their first World Championship in '85 and was forced to give up managing in the '86 season because of a brain tumor. His uniform number 10 would be retired and inducted in the Royals Hall of Fame in '87. So on this date, when he passed,
Great catch by Orlando, but the runner will tag and score to make it a 3-run Houston lead.
Oh, that's a okay. On the day that he passed, his anniversary, or that particular day, the Royals scored 10 runs. Dick Howser wore number 10. So you know, it's amazing how, you know, the mystical baseball grace, gods, whatever you want to call them, is always there when you need them. We miss Dick Howser.
A strike in there.
You know, hopefully the Astros cool down by the time the Royals get there next weekend. But that's just another way they can score runs. Did you see him lead off double, get him on, Altuve, get him over, and sacrifice fly, get him in. So they don't need the long ball, but they have it. They got plenty of power. It's the one thing that the Astros have. Did he go?
Yes, he did.
He's out. One thing that they have the Royals didn't in 15, that's power.
One thing the Astros don't have, Royals bullpen for 14 to 15.